At Your Own Risk, episode 19. And I do apologize for being gone for, about 3 months. My last episode, I believe, was back in July, and that was the Baja 500 that I raced with David Ziegler. And since then, since it's been 3 months, there was the Baja 400 in the middle of that, and that I did not get to navigate for David Ziegler and the Ziegler racing team, but I was able to be a part of the pit crew, and I was kind of like more of a backup navigator at that race, just in case something went wrong with the guys that were going to do it. There was two different navigators for the Ziegler team and two different drivers for that race for the Baja 400. So I was there, and actually had a pretty cool experience during that race. Got to obviously chase the team, and during the process, I actually got to change a flat tire for another race team. And I'm trying to think of what race team that was because that's been a while back. But they were coming down the hill on the highway into Valley T, and we saw them with a flat tire. So I told, I think it was Ron that I was with, that we needed to pull over and probably get that tire changed before they kept going on it and caused a lot more damage. So that was a lot of fun. Being Obviously, I do prefer to be in the truck and doing what I love to do, and that is navigate. But for that particular race, like I said, the Baja 400, David had some other guys, and I was fine with it. I mean, I guess I have to be fine. It doesn't matter. It's not. I'm just there to help the team, and again, I appreciate just the opportunities that I get to even do that. So I will take whatever I'm given, but I would prefer to be in the navigator seat at any moment. So, but the cool thing was we did get, like I said, that truck that was coming down Valley T at the Baja 400. They pulled over. It was a Brenthel truck, and changed the tire on it real quick and got them back on the road. Luckily, they weren't that far from the pit, but just from assessing the way that tire was, I just knew it would be the smarter thing to do is to help those guys out right there in that moment and get them back on the road safely and without any more real complications of what might happen if you keep running on a flat tire like that. So that was back on September 13th. That was the Baja 400. I did that. And then since then, uh, excuse me, since then, I am freshly back from the the Legacy Racing Gold Rush race that starts in Virginia City and ends in Tonopah. And it's a total of 344 miles. I was able to navigate the 6155, the Recycle Wise 6100 truck of Kirk Harkey. And I do have to say that, I got to thank Kirk for the opportunity to navigate for him, and really the confidence that he has, or I feel that he has in me to do that for him at those races. And that was the 2025 Legacy Racing Series Gold Rush again. That was just this past Saturday, October 11th. So I'm freshly back from that race, and I had a blast. I was not able to be there for qualifying because I do have a normal job where I got to pay my bills, and that was an adventure in itself. So I can I'll talk a little bit about it. The last week I had to do some work up in Newark, New Jersey, in the New York area. So I had to find a way to do my work, and then also find a way to get to the race, which was up in Virginia City, very close to Reno, Nevada. For those of you that don't know, it's pretty close up there, way up there. So I flew back on Thursday night so that I could be on Friday into registration, get everything all banded up and all my gear checked, and that I'd be ready to go for that race. So the cool thing is, For that, I'll go into a little bit more detail as far as like what it what it entails, and I guess how much I enjoy putting the time and the work and the effort into doing that kind of stuff to navigate and co-pilot for these races. I've raced that Gold Rush race before, so I do use a lot of old notes, a lot of old video, and stuff that I can use to kind of work on a semi map before they come out with the actual GPS file. So, Legacy came out with the file on Monday. I actually flew out to um, Newark, New Jersey on Sunday, the day before the file went out, and so I got to work on it. Some of it at home over the weekend before the race with some old footage and videos and just piecing together what the track looked like on just a map, not the GPS file, compared to some of the old video that I had to to match up to the course. So I did some work on that over the weekend. Then the week that I was up in Newark, New Jersey, did some more work on it on my laptop, and then I was pretty much ready to go racing. Unfortunately, I couldn't be there for qualifying, so Kirk drove it to qualify, and as always, um, you know, um, Chuck Dempsey did some of the navigating for qualifying, and unfortunately for our team, there was an issue with either a coil or a coil wire during qualifying, so it really cost us um, a good position to start that Gold Rush, the Legacy Gold Rush race. It cost us being at the back of the pack for that race of all the qualifying 6100s. So we were going to start on Saturday morning in the last position to get started on that race day. So they did the best they could. They went as fast as they could at qualifying. Unfortunately, it wasn't great results. They did get the truck fixed, um, and we were ready to race on Saturday morning, October 11th. And so I finally made it back from Newark on Thursday night. Drove halfway up from because I flew into San Diego. My truck was there, so I flew back from Newark, New Jersey on Thursday afternoon. Got into San Diego about uh, 9:30 o'clock at night. Drove halfway up to Ridgecrest, found a hotel, stayed there. Got up on Friday morning. Drove the other maybe about 5 hours I had left to drive to Virginia City. Made it to Virginia City, got all registered and ready to go race on Saturday. And I was thinking I was going to be pretty tired from it, but somehow I think it's the adrenaline, the rush of just being the around it all. I think it kind of made me forget that, hey, by the way, you're tired. You've been back and forth all over the place. But I'll tell you what, it's got to be something about being around the trucks, the people, the atmosphere. It's just exciting, man. Like for me, I'm like I can't tell you how much fun it is for me to get those opportunities, and I know that I have to thank God for keeping me safe, getting me there, and just keeping me healthy, and being able to experience those things, and to run into all the people. I think that's the other thing too. If I ever run into you and you say to me, and we just start chatting about this, that, or the other, or how did this other race or that go, or how do you do this, or how do you do that, whatever conversation we have, I really appreciate it because I think in that community, in the off-road community, we're just so, and I think it's like everything. We just want to hear everybody's experience and how things are going. And so it was just, I think just having that is just a ton of fun. And then getting to the truck, seeing the truck, the Recycle Wise rental 6155 truck there at, in during contingency, um, it just brings a lot of energy to me. And then on top of that, seeing the guys, the rental crew guys, dude, those guys are awesome. Like, I don't know. Um, Obviously, I'm a little biased just because they help the truck I'm in, and they really keep us moving on race day, and prep. Do a great job of prepping that truck. So I do have to say, to all the guys, if any of them do listen to this, I appreciate what you guys do, and I thank you for just being so open and inviting to me of being a part of it. And to the guys at the Brental Racing crew, pit crew guys, thank you guys for making me feel so at home and at peace, knowing that when I'm getting into a truck, I have that support from all of that group, and it's amazing, man. I'm like, I love it. So that's so I did make it to a contingency, no issues. And then race day, one of the guys was just gonna have to drive my truck back because I drove all the way from San Diego up to Virginia City on Thursday and Friday, and so one of the guys got to drive my truck back down to Tonopah during race day. So we get in the truck. We're not like I said, not the best qualifying, and start of the race, we I felt great. I had some good rest. I obviously was a little tired, so the tired I think helped to get a good night's rest. So got a good night's rest on Friday night, and got in the truck, got everything set up, all my notes put into the Lowrance of all the notes I had made, plus all the stuff that Donald said during the drivers' meeting, that be extra cautious of this and that. And I will say, Legacy does a great job of marking. I do want to say, I know last time, if you did listen to the whole thing, I not just me, but a couple other people had some concerns as to how the layout of the map or the GPS file was for us to navigate in some sections, and they weren't very there was a lot of information missing from those GPS files from the last race. And I know it was the long race, the 1,000-mile race. So it's a lot of work. But this time, guys, they did it. Legacy did an awesome job putting everything, all the files and everything right. So plus giving us a lot of information, a lot of dangers, some water sections that were out there, and then pretty cool for me on my end, there was a lot of notes that I had from previous races that lined up with the same map. So from another race, and that helped us tremendously. I think I know from during the race navigating Kirk, it was it was very helpful. So anyway, so we start pretty far in the back in the pack, and first 20 miles, from mile 5 to mile 20, they put it on the dangers that it's very rocky at the start. And if you've ever raced Vegas to Reno, when you're coming back down, we basically started at the very end going back through that section. So if you do know Vegas to Reno, it's rocky as heck coming down to the finish line. Well, now you started that section, and I knew there was a lot of rocks. I always, I remember that there is a lot of rocks there. At the drivers' meeting, they reminded us, I think, at least 4 or 5 more times that, hey, by the way, it's really rocky from mile 5 to mile 20. And I had that in my mind. I even told Kirk, hey, it's going to be very rocky. Unfortunately, rocks can sneak up on you anywhere, and especially once everybody starts going, there's going to be more rocks even kicked into the terrain that you weren't aware of before. So, unfortunately and unlucky for us, we got the first flat, and during that section of I would say maybe it was maybe 10 to 12, maybe somewhere around there. So we ended up getting a flat. We changed it out, um, and we got back going. Unfortunately, we, got some slower traffic that was behind us that we ended up catching. We got around those guys. Everybody was very nice and polite. That obviously we were catching them in a spec truck, and they were moving over. very easily, and just thankful that that happens. I know for them, I'm sure it's got to be frustrating that, dude, you just you're a bigger truck and you just slow down and now you want to get back around me. But luckily in that beginning section, there were still a couple areas where you can move over. So it wasn't that bad. And so again, I appreciate the guys that moved over. Thank you very much. Sorry for getting behind you guys and then throwing up a bunch of dust. But we, one of the things that I like to do, especially in sitting in the navigator seat, is I want to make sure I'm pushing the guy farther out, because I know it can get frustrating sitting back there and saying, "Well, you're a faster car. You just had a flat tire. Now you're behind me, and now you want to get around me again." So I do try and push that guy a little bit farther out. That way, at least it opens your line of sight and vision where you're not, full of dust. I mean, as best as we can. So we got around a couple vehicles. We were doing fine until just before pit four, which was, I think, like 160. I'm trying to think what mile marker that was. Yeah, it was actually around just before 166, I believe. And just before that, at like a 164, we ended up getting a flat tire on the right rear. Yeah, my side, passenger side, right rear. And you're coming down the valley, and there's a cliff on the right, and it's pretty narrow. There's rocky as heck. Not a lot of places to pull off. So we attempted to do the best we could. Actually, from where we were at, we could actually see the pit out ahead. And so we had a flat tire on the right side, and we attempted to do the best we could to kind of limp it in those 2 miles, so that the crew at Brenthal could just change the tire there and kind of save us some time. Unfortunately, instead of saving us time, it actually cost us more time from the wheel just disintegrating and coming apart. As we're riding on it, it actually wrapped itself around the rear axle when we pulled in. The guys are like, this thing's just wound up like crazy on the back, and they actually had to take out a sawzall and just cut the tire off, or a grinder, and try and get all that tire off of the rear axle on the right rear. And so, I apologize to the guys for all that work. Unfortunately, fortunately for us, they got it fixed, obviously. But unfortunately for us, we did cause some damage to, I think, one of the brake lines. It ripped it off and pulled off a couple other things. So they basically had to patch it off, and cap it on the right rear. So we were without those brakes for the remaining of the half of the race. We were only down to one left rear brake and the front brakes. I think if we pushed and locked it, it would lock the brakes up. But we were handicapped as far as brakes was concerned. So and then we did have a steering issue that the guys were able to fix there at that pit four because they were all there. So the steering issue got fixed. It took a while to diagnose it and figure out what was wrong. So we were down maybe about an hour. But that was an unfortunate break, but I think it still helped us. I know that Kirk wanted to and did um, drive the whole race, 344 miles, and he wanted to make sure he could, do that, and that helped in that we were able to, replenish some fluids, and kind of get a little bit more situated in going after that. The other thing too on that one was I had never gotten a headache in in 15 years that I can remember. I had never gotten a headache, riding in the truck, and for some reason after in that race, I did, and I think it comes down to that I really had not hydrated well the day before and that morning. So I will say, for all of those that are racing, you can never, just hydrate as much as possible, because I think that is one of the biggest things why you will probably end up getting a headache. Because when we did have that stop, and they had to do the tire and fix all that plus the steering situation. I pounded down a bunch of water, a couple Gatorades, and a little bit of food. And after that, my headache went away. So I can't stress enough on make sure you're hydrating and getting just hydrate. Like before a race, make sure you do the best you can to hydrate, whether it's Gatorades, electrolyte stuff, water. Just make sure you're hydrating. So after that, after pit four, we we ended up um, getting back in the truck, and after that, really, the only thing that was bad about being at that pit four was for I would say maybe about an hour, getting everything situated with the steering plus the wheel, and getting fresh tires and fuel and everything else to make it to the finish line. The only other thing that I knew after that was while we were sitting there, there was a lot of other uh, classes coming by, UTVs. A lot of the trophy light guys went by, and I knew that we just had the horsepower, obviously, to catch a lot of those guys. And again, it was going to be a challenge to try and get around these vehicles, just because we're so far back. I know we're not racing for any contention or anything like that. And I have been in the situation before where I was in those slower vehicles, and one of the bigger classes was having issues and then trying to still make some time. And I've been in that situation where I'm trying to, get to the side so that you can continue on, and we're not slowing you down. And for the most part, obviously with racing tracks and everything, with the boxes being in there, press the button, the guys acknowledge, hey, I'm going to find a way to move out of here, move out of your way. Um, for the most part, I would say all of them were very gracious in knowing that, okay, there's a bigger vehicle coming. I need to move out of the way. So to those guys that moved out of the way after that, after pit four, thank you guys. I know there's several of the trophy light guys that we got around. Thank you guys for moving over and doing it in a nice way. I know it's frustrating probably for us to get around you guys and like I said, create a bunch of dust. But I do appreciate those that moved and moved over quickly, and so we could keep going because obviously we wanted to make as much time as we could, being in the situation that we were. So it's nice to have uh, that that device to be able to make things safer and easier to get around people, and the people that do respond to them. I think it's made the sport of off road much safer here in the U.S. And when you're caught, you're caught. I mean, just move over. So after pit four, like I said, all we had was a lot of race traffic to get around. The steering was fixed. Kirk was back to pushing the truck as best as he could, and trying to get as much as we could out of that truck. And really, um, I don't think we didn't have any more issues other than that. We did end up having two more flat tires after pit four. It just rocks were just being thrown everywhere into the course, and unfortunately, we didn't move around fast enough, and so we had that issue. We had to change two more flat tires. Luckily, we didn't run on them in flat, so we didn't get any more damage as far as the tires. But I believe all four of them were on my side, my right rear side. All four tires were on that side, and matter of fact, it almost seems like it's always on the passenger side, because I'm sure the driver's always driving around the rocks on their side because they don't. It's easier to see, I'm sure. But so anyway, so we got two more flats, and made it to the finish, and I think we finished in 12th place out of the spec trucks. I think there was 13. And like I said, not something great to write home about, but I will say one of the cool things for me was to see that Kirk was able to do all 344 miles on his own. And the other cool thing is I have navigated for Kirk in two other races this year, and this will be my third. And in this, the third race of navigating, for Kirk, I can see a difference on whatever Chuck Dempsey is teaching him because they like to go out and get some coaching on how to take some corners. And I will say on some of the corners, he was doing an awesome job, just sliding the thing right in and just getting right out, executing some great execution on some turns that I was very a little scared at points, but then I think as I understood that, oh, this is like he's actually getting this truck into a better position and just driving it much aggressive. And I don't know if it's aggressive or just a more cleaner way or smoother way. It was awesome to ride in it, like just very much different. And again, awesome job on Chuck Dempsey in teaching and getting those things done. Whatever it is you're teaching them out there, that's awesome. It was fun. And other than that, I think we didn't. I think there wasn't a lot of things that I say we missed. I think there was one hard left that I know we missed because the road just went straight, and Kirk thought it kept going straight, and I said, no, you missed it. So we went back, got back on the course. Other than that, everything else went pretty smooth. There was a situation at the very end of the race, about maybe 20, 30 miles to go, maybe even more, maybe 40. There was a UTV that would not move over. We would hit the box to, push the pass and even the horn, and they would just not move over. I don't know if they couldn't hear the horn or if maybe the push to pass on their side was not working. But we were on these guys for a while, and the biggest concern on that is, I will say, is safety. It's obviously our truck, the 6100, is a much heavier vehicle, and it was unfortunate that they wouldn't move over. I understand they were probably racing for a position, and they're probably thinking, well, you're in last place. What are you racing for? But I mean, we could always, they could always find a spot to let us out around. I'm thinking, right? Like, this is me. You can just move a spot and let us through, and we're gonna open up again and give you clean air if you just give us a minute. Unfortunately, they did not move over, and we actually had to go outside of the course to the point where I just looked over to the right and said, there's a clean section there. Hopefully, it stays clean long enough, and there's not a ravine or a wash coming up. And so, I told Kirk, hey, the right side is open. Unfortunately for us, where the UTV was in front of us, we were right behind it. The dust was going to the right side where we were going to go into. So the minute we jumped off, I mean, it's complete, dust. So we pushed it, got around them, got back into the course, and we took off. But that was unfortunate because I think that could have been handled a lot better. Again, I'm not in that other vehicle either to tell you what was going on there. Maybe they didn't hear us, maybe they couldn't see us, but I mean, it was to the point where we were on their bumper for miles, like inches from their bumper for miles, just trying to make sure that they could see us, that they could hear us, that the push to pass was working, and it didn't happen. So we found a way around them. Luckily, we were safe. I'm hoping they were safe too. Nothing happened as soon as we got back on the course. It's just unfortunate. I think they could have moved over. Again, that's my opinion. They may be like, no, we're not. We're going to keep racing you, but obviously we have more horsepower, faster speed. And again, I think the biggest thing is just a safety issue. So for that team, I hope this is a learning lesson that they learn to move over if there is a faster vehicle coming on you. But again, I know it's racing, so people may look at this and be like, well, you're racing. Okay, that's fine. But I think for the safety of all, the safety of the people in that vehicle, plus the safety of us that have to figure out a way to get around you, um, I think it's just not called for based on the technology that we have and everything else. It's kind of like, look, you got caught, move over. So again, that's my opinion. Let's not everybody's going to agree with it, but I think we're trying to be as safe, everybody on our end and their end. Um, so I just hope that can, that's just a learning lesson to those individuals that were in that UTV, to know and learn that, hey, maybe we should move over because there's a bigger vehicle. I know that from me previous, and this is me talking from the 15 years of experience, also of me being in slower vehicles. I've gotten to the point where back then, when I was in a slower vehicle, if I knew there was a 10 car, a 6100, a trophy truck that was having issues, and they're trying to keep going, I would remember if I was at a pit, if I passed one, because I'm like, oh, that guy's probably going to catch us at some point. So the minute I started seeing dust, I kind of knew, okay, you're going to have to move over because there is a faster vehicle coming. And once they leave, they're gone. So it's not a big issue. I think like I said, I've learned from it in the 15 years. So I just hope that as those individuals that were in that UTV learning experience and learn to move over when a faster vehicle is catching you. So that's all I got to say about that. So that was the only thing really that kind of was a little bit concerning, was that one UTV that didn't move over. Again, I know, we were having issues and we were behind already, but kind of when you get caught to somebody that's slower, it would be nice just to move over. But other than that, I really appreciate, again, Kirk Harkey for letting me navigate for him at another race, and Chuck Dempsey for just introducing me to Kirk, and those opportunities that I get. I have to thank God for those opportunities and everything He gives me and everything He blesses me with. I know that I have to put in the work, and He will provide, and He will present me with those opportunities because of the hard work that I feel that I'm doing. And I'm just so grateful for all the opportunities that I get, whether it's this past weekend or even whether I'm just chasing. And I would rather be in a navigator seat. And I just appreciate that I am safe and that I'm home, and I get to share my experiences with all of you. I know that, again, if I see you at a race, at an event, and you come up and say hi to me, I appreciate it. I just look forward to the next opportunity that God provides me with, and just the people that I get to hang out with. Um, I'm very fortunate. I'm very lucky that I'm surrounded by some amazing people, and some of the people that I've raced with before, whether it was in Trophy Light or other series, and just meeting and running into you all. You have no idea how awesome that is to get to partake in something that is so great. And we live in one of the best countries. We live in the best country in the world, the United States of America, and I'm very fortunate to be able to live here, and just be a part of everything that I'm blessed with. I know that I'm not worthy of it. I just like to put in the work, and if it happens, good, and if it doesn't, I accept that, what it is. I have faith in my God, that He provides for me, and that He will keep giving what I deserve, and what I don't deserve, I'm not going to get. So I'll keep doing what I do. Again, I appreciate you that listen, and all the way to the end of this thing, because I'm sure sometimes maybe you get bored. But again, I got to thank Kirk Harkey. I got to thank the Brento guys for the hard work, and I got to thank Donald and his team at Legacy Racing for putting on an awesome race. The race was awesome, man. It's a great race. It's a fast race, and technical at times, obviously. The other interesting thing too, there was a couple water areas out there of just full of, like, in the middle of nowhere, just water puddles of. I mean, they must have. I mean, they looked like they weren't very deep, but I heard there was a couple teams that went into them, and they were, pretty deep. They were about 4 or 5 feet deep in some of those sections. So avoiding them was a lot of fun because I knew where to go. And fortunately for the guys that got stuck in that stuff, man, I can't imagine. So again, it was a great layout. Legacy, thank you for you guys putting on a great race. All the volunteers, thank you so much. Everybody that I saw there again, uh, I just I'm excited for what's next, and I know the Baja 1000 is coming up, so hopefully I'll end up with a team for that. Maybe as soon as I get some more information on it, I'll share it. And I think I'm sure I'm doing the last legacy race with Kirk. But until then, I just again I thank everybody that comes on here, listens to me ramble about this off-road stuff that I love and that I'm passionate about and that I just enjoy doing and sharing it with all of you. And that's all I got to say. I know I'm probably rambling on, but I appreciate you, and I just hope you all have a blessed day. And I'll see you guys at the next one. And if you do run into me, come and say hi. Say hi to me. But if you got other thing too, if you have any questions, any concerns, or anything you want to share with me, you can always find me at my handles on Facebook and Instagram at Daniel Plaza, or you can always even easier, Copilot Mafia on Instagram or Facebook. Send me a message. I still do want to get some people on here as guests because I know I haven't done the greatest job of getting guests on here. But if you do know someone, if you are someone that wants to get on here, just let me know, please, and send me a message and I'll figure out a way to get you on here. If I'm not too busy traveling and everything else with my normal job that pays my bills, I would gladly get you on here and share what you have when it comes to navigating, co-piloting, and everything else. Again, I just look forward to the next one that, Lord willing, I have a next race and I'm still here and being able to share what I do and what I love. So until then, I'll see you guys later.